They said this segment would be civil, a debate on opportunity and government support. The View's producers promised a balanced exchange. Candace Owens accepted the invitation because she believed in the message: self-reliance, cultural critique, and policy clarity. She didn't expect fireworks. That was the plan. Candace Owens walked onto the set Monday morning with her trademark poise, tailored blazer, confident stride, prepared argument. She greeted the hosts with professional nods. Joy Behar offered an almost polite smile. Joy said, "Welcome back to The View, Candace Owens. You've been making headlines with your views on American entitlement and welfare. Let's dig in." Candace said, "Thank you, Joy. America works when people work, and that's what I hope to show today." Sarah Haynes leaned in. She said, "Let's start with economic opportunity. You often say people need agency. But isn't entitlement a real issue if people can't afford basics?" Candace said, "Agency is key. Government aid can't become dependency. We've seen entire communities lean on support that never lifts them up." Sunny Hostin chimed in. She said, "But what about systemic barriers, underfunded schools, healthcare deserts? People aren't lazy, they're blocked." Candace said, "No one denies barriers exist. But entitlement happens when people see obstacles and expect the system to owe them more than their own effort." Joy smiled. She said, "So you're saying people should pull themselves up by bootstraps? That sounds harsh to people who've never had boots." Candace said firmly, "Not harsh, hopeful. Because you can't walk behind someone else's boots forever." The pace felt friendly until Joy's tone changed, soft but probing. She said, "All well and good, unless someone starts believing America owes them nothing at all." Candace paused, then said quietly, "I think that's exactly the mindset we need to fix." Joy leaned forward. She said, "But it sounds like you're saying America owes people opportunity, not support, and often, intersectionality demands more." Candace shook her head. She said, "Opportunity is a launch pad. Support is parachutes. Both matter, but parachutes shouldn't be used as wings." Sarah nodded. She said, "That's visual, but some say people are drowning before they get to the launch pad." Candace said calmly, "Then let's build bridges to the launch pad, not build new landing zones below." Joy frowned. She said, "But you talk like everyone has the same starting line." Candace said, "They don't, but we all get one chance to cross it. And we should stop complaining about the gap after it." The mood shifted. The talk of launch pads sounded motivational until it felt dismissive. Joy's face hardened. She said, "So what about generational poverty? You think my family's legacy of discrimination is just a story?" Candace paused, voice steady. She said, "I think it's real. I also think we can't change the past, and we should stop expecting America to make it right today." A hush fell. The audience leaned forward. The tone had turned. Joy's tone became sharper. She said, "You talk like America owes you something, but what you're really saying is America owes me nothing." Candace said slowly, "Not America owes me nothing. America can't owe me. Opportunity is better currency than entitlement." Joy's eyes flashed. Sadness, anger, disbelief. She said, "That sounds like you don't want help. You want to deny everyone else." Candace's calm stayed intact. She said, "I want empowerment. I don't want people to believe they deserve handouts for breathing." Joy glared. She said, "Empowerment or denial? There's a difference." Candace paused, breathed. Then she said, "You talk like America owes you something. But America didn't ask for your entitlement. It asked for your contribution." The table went quiet. The audience exhaled as if everything had shifted in one line. Joy's lips parted, an emotional reaction visible in words. She said nothing, voice cracking. The segment cut abruptly to a short break. The tension lingered. The cameras returned after the break, and the change was palpable. The usual studio warmth had cooled. Candace Owens sat resolute, hands folded. Joy Behar stared ahead, unblinking. Sarah Haynes spoke first. She said, "We just heard a powerful line. Candace, can you unpack what you meant by we owe contribution, not entitlement? Candace said, sure. When I say contribution, I mean showing up, working, creating, giving back. That's the contract. Entitlement assumes you're owed something for nothing. Sunny Hostin said gently. But not everyone has the means to contribute. Some people haven't had the starting point that allows them to. Candace said, that's why I said, build bridges to the launch pad. That's infrastructure, schools, training, healthcare. But once people arrive, they must contribute. Joy Behar scoffed. She said, infrastructure sounds nice. But the system's rigged, built by people who had power. You asking people to jump from the bottom? Candace said calmly, systems are imperfect. But we don't rewrite history. We improve the present. We adapt. Nobody starts perfect. Joy said sharply, that's easy advice when you've made it. But the audience saw your rise, privilege, platform, connections. Candace said, my rise started from nothing. I worked 3 jobs while going to college. Nobody handed me that platform. Joy said quietly, but forceful. She said, and now you deny the barriers others faced, racism, sexism, historical oppression. Candace paused. She said, I don't deny them. I overcome them by refusing to let them own my future. That's what I want others to learn. Joy said, but telling people they should have overcome when they couldn't is cruel. Candace took a breath. She said, it's not cruel, it's a challenge. A call to do more than survive. To live. Joy's voice trembled. She said, some people don't get that luxury. Candace said softly, privilege isn't about money. It's the choice to keep choosing, even when it's hard. Joy's eyes welled for the first time. She said, you talk like America owes you nothing, but you stand here on a stage built by sacrifices you didn't make. Candace's voice was measured. She said, same as you. Same as anyone here. We all stand on someone's shoulders. Joy said, then why do you refuse to acknowledge that? Candace said, because I refuse to use gratitude as justification for complacency. A tense silence settled. The studio lights felt too bright. Joy's voice cracked. That's what entitlement sounds like. Candace paused, then gently said, no, it's what honesty sounds like. The audience exhaled again. No applause. But something shifted. Sarah Haynes cleared her throat. She said, Joy, do you want to respond? Joy swallowed. She said, maybe I see the world differently. Maybe I believe some people. Candace interrupted gently. She said, maybe you should ask, where did my hope come from? If not my own effort. Joy looked away, then back. She said softly, hope is a privilege too. Candace nodded. She said, then let's give everyone the chance to earn it. Joy sat back, silent for a moment, absorbing the words. Sarah said, we're running out of time. She looked to the audience. We'll finish after the break. The stage lights dimmed. The cameras returned, and the atmosphere crackled. Candace Owens remained composed, her gaze steady. Joy Behar exhaled, hands clasped in her lap, the usual spark dimmed. Sarah Haynes said, all right, final segment. Candace, Joy, you've aired your perspectives. Let's bring it home. Candace, what do you want America to understand? Candace shifted forward. She said, I want people to know that dignity is earned, not given. That we don't grow stronger by expecting handouts. We grow stronger by building, creating, giving back. Joy Behar's voice was quiet. She said, and what about grace? Compassion? Shouldn't we understand hardship before condemning? Candace replied, voice unwavering. She said, we should. I do. I came from hardship. But understanding hardship isn't the same as being entitled because of it. Joy sighed. She said, maybe I worry your message underestimates how much the system still discriminates. Candace nodded. She said, it does. But dwelling on it as a crutch keeps us stuck. My message is, use the pain, not as an excuse, but as fuel. Joy looked away for a moment, then back. She said softly, that's fair. But not everyone gets the same fuel. Candace's tone softened. She said, then we give them fuel. But we don't let them burn out from always waiting for it. Another silence. Sarah Haynes said, Joy, final words? Joy said, the conversation matters. We all want better, for ourselves and for each other. Maybe the balance is between expectation and effort, recognizing need, but not building identity around it. Candace nodded slowly. She said, precisely. Sarah turned to Candace. She said, and what's your line for viewers? Candace looked into the camera. She said, don't wait for what you think you deserve. Build it. Demand respect. Earn your place. That's how we change America. The audience applauded thoughtfully, some slow claps, others nodding heads. Joy exhaled, voice softer. She said, maybe. That's something I need to think about too. Candace smiled gently. She said, we all should. The segment ended with a respectful nod between the two women. A moment of tension transformed into something like understanding. This is the USA Liberty. Subscribe if you believe America doesn't owe us a seat at the table, but that doesn't mean we stop building one. Because effort and empathy can coexist. And when they do, we all rise.